This is my 70th video. Time to admit my 7 most awful mistakes so far, so if you're starting out, you don't make them too. I'm not hanging about, I'm going to run through them in 7 minutes. So let's start at the beginning. First mistake. I worried too much about the unimportant stuff at the beginning. I spent hours editing out every and pause out of my speech and made the uploading of videos a long, stress-filled nightmare. In reality, it made no difference, and in some respects actually made the videos look worse, bitty, disjointed. The fact is, almost nobody's going to watch these early videos. I should have spent my time more productively on scripts, thumbnails, etc, etc, etc. Part of the reason for this in retrospect is that it's very easy to see the difference in my delivery and others who've been on YouTube for years, so that's where I felt like I needed to focus. And also I was unused to seeing myself on video, and I looked and sounded so terrible I thought I had to do something about that first. And to be honest, it was easier than actually researching what would be attractive to watchers and what would be a good channel topic. The B-roll and the fine editing wasn't the priority. Mistake number 2. I reacted to few if any views by making topic changes much too fast. This is a rookie mistake and it reflects just a lack of confidence. I've changed the topic of the channel 3 times in the course of making these videos. I know that gets the algorithm confused by doing that, but the temptation to see the lack of views as an indicator that the channel topic I had chosen was the problem, it was just too great. Plus, I had some new ideas that I thought were good. I was guilty of expecting results too fast. Mistake number 3. I'm a gadget fan. I love my kit, I love my equipment, and I decided that one of the problems I had, obviously, was that I didn't have the right equipment. So I changed cameras, I changed lights, I changed microphones, and then I changed them all again. And things got a bit better, but the big mistake I made was just being distracted by the questions about the echoey sound of my voice and the reflection of lights in my glasses. I could have spent that time much better, but it's a rabbit hole that it's tempting to go down for everybody, and me more than most. It's easy being distracted by bright, shiny baubles. Mistake number 4, and this is a big one. I didn't do anything like enough research on the market for the topics I was thinking about making a channel about. What I did was decide what I could release videos on based on what I thought I could claim to be an expert about, but not what anybody would find interesting. I should have done a lot more research on Google Trends, generally where it's easy to see how popular topics are. And this is a symptom of an underlying problem. Why are you doing YouTube? If it's for fun, great, but if it's for something more, then the channel needs to point exactly towards your audience, and you have to think of them first. I didn't. Mistake number 5. I didn't vary my delivery enough. Talking head videos like this one are inherently boring to look at. Also, my vocal delivery was, and still is to some extent, quite flat. I've added B-roll and captions, but the message is doing all of the heavy lifting in my videos, and it's very easy to click off them, so I really need to up my game in terms of interest. You'll see from my last few videos on the best and worst days of my working life that I've started taking my camera outside to vary the presentation. I'm filming this before they've gone live, and I'll be interested to see how they do. I don't think talking head videos are bad by any stretch, and they work for a huge number of very successful YouTubers, but they can be pretty boring visually. My mistake was to approach them like I would do for a business presentation. I don't think that works on YouTube particularly. Mistake number 6. Possibly one of the worst. I fell into the trap of not really thinking about the title and thumbnail properly before I filmed the video. It's quite astonishing that this happened, because I know, and I knew then, it was a huge elephant trap, and I vowed not to do it. Yet, when I had an idea for a video, I still just got into the filming. After everything was edited and ready to go, only then did I start considering the title and the thumbnail. Why? I guess I just got too enthusiastic on the topic. I still haven't really got to the point where I have this the right way around properly. My workflow is not bad, but things do get out of order. Okay, mistake number 7. I publish too many videos. Yes, this is a mistake that may not be readily apparent, bearing in mind it doesn't feel like I've broken any publishing records, but I really put too much emphasis on getting sight of results and trends and assigned too much importance to sticking to a schedule. This meant that too many of my videos were done in the spirit of getting ahead of my schedule of 2 videos a week and using that as my first priority rather than worrying about the rest of all the issues that I've been down already. So those are my 7 horrific mistakes. Try to avoid them yourself, eh? Then at least they'll have been of some benefit. A really clever person learns from other people's mistakes rather than by having to make them all personally. That's the way to do this thing called YouTube. Now my results have been pretty horrendous and they continue to be so. I have a couple more shots to take though. The next one will be a complete restart of the channel, so I can, if you like, rebase the algorithm and clear the confusion that I've obviously instilled by all of the things which I just talked about. I've got almost no views, very few followers, so it's not like I'm taking too much of a risk. So, big question, would I do it again? And the answer to that is, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, if you go back to some of my earliest videos, you can see the progress. I've learned a huge amount. One of the issues of starting on this process is that people you learn from have been on here for hundreds of videos, and it feels like you're failing if you don't have as many views as the people you're looking at. The expectation is fundamentally unrealistic. If you see this as a real project and worth investing time and money in, you have to allow the time for success to happen. Overnight sensations are a complete pain, frankly, because they show what the odd outlier has managed to do. That's not what we can expect, but that's not nearly as attractive a message as the archetypal get-rich-quick story. So, I'll post one more video on this channel. Amongst other things, it'll point to my new channel, and then we'll see what happens there, okay? Time to get going.